You're watching the #1 home improvement YouTube channel in the entire world. This video is all about how I installed this tile. Very interesting stuff. You're not going to want to miss it. There's all sorts of hidden messages throughout the video, so make sure you watch every second of it. Gotta put the bar back. I gotta move furniture over here. I gotta get that section ready to put carpet in. I'm gonna be building some walls, some doorways, upgrading the lighting in here, upgrading the lighting in the bathroom over there. Lots of fun stuff. Click the subscribe button, click that bell so you're notified, and make sure you leave a comment if you have questions about what I did here, why I did it, the order of operations, how long it took, how much it cost, all that. Ask it down below. Today's video is sponsored by the WD-40 company. This is the WD-40 Specialist Rust Remover Soak. I haven't seen this in years. You can see how rusted that is, this part here. And it's kind of stuck too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in this little paint pan here and pour some of the Rust Remover Soak, and I'm going to leave it sit. So it's only been a few hours. I thought I was going to have to leave it soak overnight. And all the rust is completely gone. I went out to the tool trailer looking for things that are rusty. Came up with this Sawzall blade. Going to drop that in there. And my ram set also has some surface rust on there. And I think this will fit in here. Just barely fits in there. I'm going to add a little bit more to cover it all up. There we go. So we'll check back in a little while and see what these look like.
What does that handyman think he's doing? Coming on the internet working in shorts and slippers.
I'm doing short sections at a time to keep the dust down. So we go 2 or 3 feet, turn the grinder off, let these fans do their job, then do some chipping. And then keep going. A little bit at a time. Don't want this room to turn into a big old dust bomb.
So I know some people who follow the channel are going to be curious about these new knee pads. Lowe's sent me these. They said go to the Lowe's website and pick anything you want out of these brands. So I picked out these knee pads, the Gel Zone AWP HP. So I'm going to use them for today. And I'll tell you at the end of the video, what do I think of these things? And they say you can say whatever you want. You don't have to say, there's no script. You don't have to say anything. Just use them. It's all right, I'm going to use them. Stay tuned to the end of the video. Give you my first impression of these Gel Zone knee pads. Some time has passed and all the surface rust is gone. Well, all three tools no longer have rust on them. There will be a link in the description where you can get your WD-40 Specialist Rust Remover Soak. I wanted to jump in real quick in the middle of this tile job. We get more and more questions about my outfit. How do I clean it? You can tell it's a little bit cleaner today. You just simply hose it off, like hang it over a fence or a railing, and you hose it off, and you put it in the washing machine, and then you put it in the dryer, and then you put it back on. It's as simple as that. It is extremely durable. This is a commercial grade type coverall that you can buy used on Amazon for 15 bucks. Update on the knee pads I was telling you about earlier. The Gel Zone, the fancy Gel Zones, they are from the same company. And again, these are the ones that Lowe's sent me, and they just said go pick something out. And I said, well, I'm going to try out some new knee pads. They're too high up, and I find my knees rolling off all the time. These are a different style by the same brand, where my knee is closer to the ground and it's not going to roll off the side. So I found myself kneeling like right in here a lot of times, you know, instead of like this. So they shifted around quite a bit. With pants on, they bunch up and they hurt the back of your knees, just like all of them do. So that's no different than what this one is. I'm going to switch back to this one while I do all the cuts on the perimeter. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm thinking back to the comments of the last tile video that I did, and when I used this tile cutter, there were a lot of comments that said, I've tried it and it never works for me. And what are you doing different? Because it looks like you're flying through it. And I am flying through it. I'm gonna do 95% of the cuts for this room here in about 30 minutes. And then there will be 5% of the cuts I'll have to use a tile saw where there is more than, you know, like notches out of the tile. I think a lot of it has to do with the tool. There are cheaper tools than this one here, but this one's only like $80, $90. They go up to $1,000. This is only 12 by 12 tile. The longer tile you have, the higher quality tile cutter you're going to need. This is not like a cast rigid cutter. This here is just basically formed sheet metal. And when after I score it, you know, you flip down the little, I don't even know what it's called, the little breaker. And then you can't push it here. Yeah, on this shorter tile I probably could, but there's so much flex in, we'll call this the bed of the saw, that you have to snap it up top here. On the higher end models that are like cast, like they're really, really rigid, this ridge line here doesn't flex. So when you do snap it, you can do longer tiles. So the reason it's going so easy for me is because they're 12 by 12 tiles. If these were 18, 20-inch tiles, I don't know if I would have this good of results with this cheap of a tile cutter. This piece goes over there in the corner. This one is probably scrap. This is an offcut. This will be put in this pile here and used in areas where this can be used. Slowing it down. Here are my marks. The only marks I really made were this one and this one, just by holding the tile up to the wall and marking it, then filled in straight lines. On the next one, I'll show you how I marked it out. So it's real straightforward. I'm gonna push this in until I get to the green line this way. And then I'm gonna lift the tile up to go at it right like this. That's gonna account for the curve in the saw blade. And then I'll flip it around, do the exact same thing. And then this will be a cut tile that is notched to go around a corner. Here's the cut. That marker wipes right off. Keep in mind, all this is going to get covered by baseboard, so it's not an exposed cut. Don't need to really spend a ton of time on it, but there's a cut. Real simple. So here's how I measure for the cut. So easy. On this one here, don't even need a straight edge. So I need to notch that out to go around this here.